A tragic scene which is repeated over 7,000 times each year in the United States. All the more tragic because so many drownings can be prevented if you know what to do to help. The safest rescues don't involve swimming. The film Non-Swimming Rescues details many simple and safe techniques that don't even require the lifesaver to get wet. Swimming rescues are a last resort and should only be used when absolutely necessary. Good swimming skills are essential before life-saving training can begin. Red Cross life-saving candidates must be proficient in the crawl stroke, treading water, surface diving and swimming underwater, the side stroke, and the breaststroke. Before a lifesaver can make a safe approach and carry, he must be able to enter the water quickly while keeping his eyes on the victim. He must also be able to adapt his regular swimming strokes to life-saving strokes. On beaches with a long area of shallow water, the fastest entry is a run with a plunge dive. When the rescuer must enter from a height, a feet-first jump is safest. From a pool deck or low pier, the lifesaver can use either a stride jump or, if he's familiar with the bottom conditions, a long, shallow dive. The rescuer should always be able to see the victim, so the crawl and breaststroke must be adapted to keep the face out of the water and the eyes on the victim. An adaptation of the side stroke is used to carry victims. Since the top arm will be used to grasp the victim, it can't be used for propulsion. To compensate, the movement of the bottom arm must be shortened and speeded up. Gripping the edge of a pool makes it easy to practice this shallow arm pull. The scissors kick is adapted for life-saving by making it an almost continuous action with no glide. At times, it may be useful to further adapt the scissors kick by simply turning to the opposite side so that the bottom leg moves forward. This inverted scissors kick frequently makes for a more effective carry. Here's what it looks like underwater. First, the standard scissors kick, with the top leg recovering forward. And then, the inversion. With the same leg, now the bottom leg, recovering forward. As the rescuer works on his approach, he must learn to execute the reverse. This skill puts the lifesaver in the ideal ready position to make contact with the victim and get underway immediately. When making a rear approach, the rescuer reverses and levels the victim at the armpit. Or, for a heavier victim, at the chin. If the victim is very heavy and non-buoyant, the rescuer may choose a two-hand level off. Grasping both armpits, the lifesaver leans back and applies leverage with his arms. Front surface approaches should be used only when the victim's face is underwater. The rescuer reverses and reaches his right hand across to grab the victim's right arm. Then he leans back and pulls the victim's arm up and back. Watch again and notice that the lifesaver extends his right hand to the victim's right arm. Here he uses a chin pull to level her off. A front underwater approach is used for a panicky victim. Surface diving at least 6 feet away from the victim, the rescuer swims to his feet, grasps his knees, turns him, and while maintaining contact, surfaces, and levels him off. When a victim is floundering close to a pier or pool edge, the rescuer may use the momentum from her dive to swim around behind the victim. This puts her in the proper position to make a rear approach. Once a victim has been leveled off, the rescuer may choose from several carries to tow her to safety. The choice will depend largely on whether the victim is passive or panicky. A hair carry works well with a semi-conscious or unconscious victim. For longer distances, the lifesaver may opt for a wrist tow. Care must be taken here to make sure the victim's face stays above the surface. If the victim is wearing clothing, a shirt or collar tow may be used. The rescuer grasps the collar palm down and allows some slack in order not to interfere with the victim's breathing. The cross-chest carry should be used with active, panicky victims, since it provides maximum control. From the level-off position, the rescuer brings his other arm across the victim's chest and reaches as far around him as possible. If more control is needed, the rescuer can bring his other arm around behind the victim and grasp his own wrist firmly. To help a tired but calm swimmer to safety, the rescuer can grasp him under the armpit and gently reassure and encourage him. Similarly, the swimmer may be supported in the back position by one rescuer or by two. If these arm assist techniques do not provide sufficient support, the rescuer may elect to have the swimmer place her hands on his shoulders and put her head back in the water while he maintains forward momentum with the breaststroke. Trained lifesavers should be capable of handling a wide variety of aquatic emergencies. But a swimming rescue is always a difficult, tiring experience, and constant practice is the only way to maintain proficiency in these skills. Remember, too, that most times an accurate assessment of the situation will indicate some non-swimming method of rescue, which will be easier and safer for both the victim and the rescuer.